I was 16 the night my world split open. It was Christmas Eve. Snow was piling against the windows, soft and quiet, the kind of night when families sit together under warm lights. Instead, mine was falling apart. I had just told my parents I was pregnant. My father's face turned a violent, terrifying red. My mother wouldn't even look at me. Her eyes stayed glued to a spot on the floor like she could burn a hole into it if she tried hard enough. Then my father said the words that would haunt me for years. "Fix it, or you're not our daughter." I remember the way my breath froze in my chest, the way the room seemed to shrink, the realization that the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally were choosing conditions. I couldn't do what he wanted. So I packed a bag while they sat in cold silence. So still, they might as well have been statues. No one said a word as I opened the front door and stepped into a blizzard. No jacket thick enough. No shoes warm enough. No plan. Just me. 16. Pregnant and unwanted. I walked until my fingers stopped burning and started going numb. For 2 years, I lived with my best friend's family. They didn't just give me a roof. They gave me safety, dignity, and the kindness my own parents denied me. They helped me finish high school. They held my baby while I worked late nights at a diner trying to keep us afloat. And my daughter Lily, she was the one bright thing in all the darkness. The first time I held her, everything made sense. I chose her. And I would choose her 1,000 times again. When she was 6 months old, I tried calling home once. My mother answered. I heard her breathe. Then she hung up. That sound, the sharp click of disconnection, hurt more than being thrown out. After that, I stopped trying. Years passed. Lily grew. When she was 5, I saved enough for a tiny apartment of our own. When she was 8, I earned my degree and landed a stable job at an insurance company. We built a quiet, small, but beautiful life. Just the two of us. Then last year, when Lily turned 13, my phone lit up with a number I hadn't seen in almost 15 years. My father. My hands trembled so badly I almost dropped the phone. I should have ignored it. I wanted to ignore it. But something inside, the part of me still carrying the ghost of the girl I used to be, answered. We met at a coffee shop. They looked older, shrunken, worn down in ways that surprised me. My mother cried as soon as she saw me. My father couldn't lift his eyes long enough to meet mine. He pushed a tiny velvet box across the table. Inside was a silver baby bracelet. "We bought this for your daughter," he said, "right after you left." My mother's voice trembled when she spoke. "We were going to come find you, bring you home, but then your father's accident happened." "Accident?" I stared at them. My father rolled up his sleeve, revealing a jagged scar running up his arm. "Drunk driver," he said. 2 days after you left. I was in a coma." My mother whispered. "He woke up and didn't remember the last 5 years. He didn't remember you leaving." Shock, disbelief, and an old ache twisted inside me. "Why didn't you look harder?" I whispered. I wasn't hiding. Neither answered at first, but then my father said the words that shattered whatever wall I had left between us. "Your mother, she's dying. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 6 months left at best. She wants to meet her granddaughter, and I want to make things right before it's too late." Anger and grief battled inside me. Part of me wanted to walk away and let them feel the abandonment I'd lived with for years. But another part, the part shaped by raising Lily, understood something about forgiveness I never had before. "I need time," I said. When I told Lily everything, she listened quietly. Then she said, "Mom, I think they should meet me. Not for them, for you." Her voice was calm, steady. She was braver than I had ever been. The next weekend, we met my parents at a park. I watched them freeze when they saw Lily, their granddaughter, the living proof of everything they had once rejected. My mother covered her mouth, tears spilling uncontrollably. My father stared like he was looking at a distant part of his own life finally returned to him. "She looks just like you," he whispered. Lily stepped forward and introduced herself, and when my mother pulled her into a trembling hug, Lily hugged her back. Over the next few months, we found an uneasy rhythm. Sunday dinners, awkward conversations, emotional landmines we stepped on accidentally. But there were also moments of pure healing. My mom teaching Lily the cookie recipe she once taught me. My dad pulling out old model trains he'd kept all these years. The way Lily laughed around them, like she was discovering a part of her life she didn't know she'd been missing. But my mom's health declined fast. Too fast. 4 months after reconnecting, she was in hospice. I took leave from work. Lily spent every afternoon beside her bed reading books, brushing her hair, holding her hand. The night before she died, she asked for me alone. Her voice was barely more than a breath. "I should have stood up for you. I should have followed you out that door." Tears streamed down her thin cheeks. Every day, I carried the guilt. I held her hand, swallowing back my own sobs. "I forgive you." She shook her head weakly. "Not yet. Not until you know the truth." Then she told me everything. My father regained his memories less than a year after the accident. They had spent years searching, hiring investigators, scouring social media, even putting up posters. And then she gave up. She told him to stop searching. She couldn't bear the shame. "I thought you were better off without us," she whispered. "So if you need to blame someone, blame me, not him." I broke. Everything I believed for years. Wrong. Everything I hated. Misunderstood. Everything I lost. Stolen by her fear, not their indifference. She died the next morning with all of us beside her. After the funeral, I found my father sitting on their bed holding the silver baby bracelet like it was the last fragile thread connecting him to the past. "Did she tell you?" he asked. I nodded. He wiped at his eyes. I should have kept looking, even if she wanted me to stop. You found me eventually, I said softly. That's what matters. 2 years later, my father lives a few blocks away. He picks Lily up from school, goes to every volleyball game, helps her with homework, builds projects with her, laughs with her like he's trying to make up for a lifetime in every single moment. Last month, she asked if she could call him Grandpa. My voice cracked when I told her yes. People ask me why I let them back into my life, why I chose forgiveness. I tell them it wasn't for my parents. It was for my daughter so she could know where she came from, even the broken parts. And maybe it was for the girl I used to be, the one who walked into a snowstorm alone. Forgiveness doesn't rewrite the past. It just clears enough space to build something better. And now, watching my father teach Lily to drive hand on the wheel, patient, steady, I realized something. Some endings aren't endings at all. Some are circles waiting to close. Some families break apart only so they can be rebuilt stronger, softer, and infinitely more precious, even if it takes a lifetime.